on the outside looking in.
They just loop.
And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone. All alone.
You make it a 10-minute timer and they just die.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in. And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need.
It's been a lot of fun.
Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street. Hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in. And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in. And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in. And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mind struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip. It's go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tune into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
What character did you end up maxing out, Nappy?
We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Vitamin G Podcast. We are on episode 244, Vitamin G. And I have a full panel today. We all showed up on CP time. So, forgive us. But, hey, let's kick it off with Drew Bay since he was actually the earliest one here today. How you been? What you been playing?
Hey, yo, I've been cool. I've been playing the first Descendant. A lot of fun.
All right.
Can't wait to actually talk about it proper. But yeah,
All right.
real easy.
Let's throw this on over to Nappy since he was the second gentleman in here today. How you been? What you been playing?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I have also been playing First Descendant, so I will leave that for the discussion since that's one of the topics. Besides First Descendant, I've also been playing Banishers of the wait, what was that game? I just literally just had it up.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
the game
Banishers
with
from the
guy and the chick.
yeah.
yeah, the guy and the chick. It's
The people
pretty decent.
focused? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Focus,
so- Yeah, so I will have to say that game's I'm sorry, as Banisher Ghost of New Eden. Yes, I'll have to say that game for a double A game, I have to say the story is actually what's carry it the most. The combat is mid, is kind of its weak point because it's kind of hard to describe it, but it's like a watered down version of the modern God of War games. But at the same time, like I don't want to compare it to a AAA studio because this is like a small AA studio that is trying to get their merits. But the game is actually fun to play as far as like a single player story based game. Choices matter, and you get to listen to everyone's in the interesting parts of the story. And basically, your beloved dies and turns into a ghost, and you either can like help rid the New Eden area of the curse, or you actually rid in the New Eden of curse regardless is one of your objectives. But you also try to figure out if there is a way to bring your dead love back to life. So depending on what you do, depends on if you can or cannot. I think the game has like a total of like 5 different endings. So I'm actually enjoying the story, and I got told that I'm too much of a goody goody two shoe. So because I'm always picking like all the good things and doing the right thing rather than being selfish. And also apparently I don't love my loved one because of my selflessness and of doing the right thing.
Huh.
So yeah,
Interesting.
that's about it.
Sounds pretty cool.
All right. And Zero, how have you been? What have you been playing with that?
What's going on, everybody? I've been well. Like everybody else, the first Descendant, so we'll dive into that later. But outside of that, just mowing my way through Elden Ring.
Okay. The DLC or the base game?
Base game.
Okay.
So I gotta finish up the base game and then I'm headed off into the DLC.
Okay. Okay. And last but certainly not least, our guy Kofi. Last one in. So. How have you been? What have you been playing?
How's it going, guys? Yeah. I've been playing quite a few things. I think I had a lot of gaming hours in my absence from the cast. But a lot of those hours were into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So Rebirth is complete. I guess most of the panel doesn't mind if we randomly mention spoilers, so maybe at some point we will. I've also been playing the first Descendant, so it's nice that I think almost the entire cast has been playing the Descendants. I might be the most behind, but we'll get into that. I've also been playing Stellar Blade. That has been absolutely fantastic. And then I've jumped into some demos. I recently played the new Furyu action RPG by some members of the design team for the original Final Fantasy Versus 13. It's called Reinatis, and it comes out in October in the US, but it comes out in Japan next week or in 2 weeks. So I will be importing this game, and I played the demo because I got burned a little bit on their last title last July called Cry Machina. Typically Furyu has great ideas and never sees their execution fully, usually because they run out of funding. But this particular game, it was really unique. I like that the setting is in a world where people, it's almost like a mutant scenario where there are people with mutant powers that want to fight other mutants that want to use their powers nefariously. But there's a lot of gray areas where people might pretend to be on the good side, but really taking advantage of things with their powers. For example, trying to set up scenarios that they look like a hero, but really it's them kind of manufacturing a scenario so that they can have attention or have more power and influence. And then there are people who are just like denizens of a city, but they are amongst other people with poor intentions, but they are trying to do the right thing. So it's basically taking the perspective of these two unique people and where they may end up crossing paths. And for the first time, I actually, usually when I'm playing a demo, I'm like, it's great, don't need to finish it. This one I actually played and was disappointed when the demo ended because they started to introduce some really interesting things. The dodge mechanic is one of the most, it's a very simple mechanic, but I'll maybe talk about it when the game actually comes up. But the dodge mechanic is like really interesting, and I can't wait to explore that more.
That's one of
And then
import
also,
games?
yeah, that's the import game that comes out in 2 weeks. It's called Reinatis, and it's out in the US in October. But like I said, 2 weeks in Japan. And then the last game I played a demo for is called Kunitsugami, which is the I think it's coming to Xbox Game
Path of the
Pass,
Goddess?
but yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Path of the Goddess.
No, you said the
And
name right, but the end of it is Path of the Goddess.
that's correct.
Yeah.
And I played through like most of the first scene or like the first area that you have to defend. It is very much like a castle defense, but you have warriors that you can move and not like real time, but like you kind of like slow down time to move where you want them to be, and you're strategically trying to cleanse an entire village. And the goddess that you're that is helping you cleanse it, you have to protect her, but she moves. throughout the village, and I found the combat, at least so far, to be a little bit simple, but everything else to be really fun.
Okay.
So not sure when I'll pick that up, but it was a great demo.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that
yeah, having a
drops,
good
I
time.
think, live later this month in Game Pass.
Yeah, later
Which
this
is
month
something that
everywhere.
we'll be talking for sure. Um, and so me, I have also been on a rebirth spree. I've been knocking out a bunch of mini games. I am now on Fort Condor, knocking out those on hard mode, and I think after that I got one more set of done. I just got to do the battle simulator, combat simulator. Did you do the combat simulators, Kofi?
I did a lot of them, not all of them.
Okay, yeah, I did. I haven't
Um,
done all the hard ones.
oh yeah, and I mean I unlocked hard mode early, but I haven't really dived in and done the hard mode in the
Oh,
simulator.
okay. So we can dive into. Let me timestamp. Timestamp going. Um, Before I do that, I just want to encourage everyone to like and share this out. No matter if you catch it live or a little bit later, we are on the road to 500. We're a little bit off at 200, and if you could help us get there, I would greatly appreciate that. But we are going to kick off with what is on your mind, and I'm going to use this to ask Kofi what was his thoughts and impressions on. Well, I can ask Kofi and Zero now that we have multiple people who have beaten it. What are your impressions? Oh, and
Do you want to go first, Zero, or you?
I'll let you go since you're the most recent.
Yeah, I am. I just want to preface this with I really went into this game blind. I did not watch the state of play that showed any open world stuff, so I didn't really know what I was expecting. I mean, I knew I had high a bar of expectations because I wanted a lot of content to be in this game. When Square Enix first announced that there was going to be 3 titles to cover all of Final Fantasy VII, I was concerned because the first game was only one city. And I'm thinking you're gonna have 2 games with literally like a dozen different cities that feel lively and have the same attention to Midgar. I'll see it, when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. But they really did that. I really felt like they not only reimagined a lot of these cities, but they added details that were based on other media that we've seen these characters in, primarily like Advent Children. And even if there is a minute character detail or a particular characteristic or inspiration of a city, you might see that influence from somewhere in a book, in a media, in other games or mobile entries over the last 20 years. So I continued to think back and I returned to the old games to look at certain things and realized that they really combed through and left no stone unturned. So I walked away extremely impressed. The production was just blowing me away. Um, I don't know like how far we're going to go into spoilers, particularly for listeners. But like the
it's
fight
been
against the
about 4
last.
months, so I mean, uh,
Okay, are we okay with the
let's see.
spoiler section?
I don't know if I got
I don't know if you
spoiler
have
alert.
like
I
a.
don't know if I got spoiler alert up here. Oh, let's see.
You do? Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's make
spoiler
sure that
alert. Here we
they.
go. Spoiler alert. You can skip
And
ahead to the next
yeah,
section if you're
exactly.
catching this later. All right, there we go. Gave the spoiler alert. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll jump right to one that I found so comical. I mentioned before that my sons and I really played this together. I mean, they saw, I would say, a good 60% of the game,
Okay.
and they got really into understanding the summons and what they were capable of. And when they first saw Gilgamesh, they thought he was just the most entertaining character ever. And for people who haven't seen this iteration of Gilgamesh, he's just as strong and cool looking as you might remember him from when he was first a summon in I think 6. Um, but he has this like honestly well written personality. He was designed uh, as an almost like a kabuki entertainer, but has this balance of like not treating himself too seriously, sometimes having a little bit of clumsiness, but then also being a very serious, fighter and damage dealer. And so when you first summon him or when you earn him, he lands on his head. And one of my sons just found that as the most entertaining thing in the world. Like it was like his moment to enjoy the game. And I really like those kinds of things because I just did not expect that attention to detail. Um, for what really is one of the highlight summons of the overall game. So that really blew my mind. Um, Another thing was just how I felt characters were treated so well overall. And I've had these conversations a long time ago, probably with Reggie and Pharaoh, that if I ever wrote my own story, if I ever created a game, character balance is really important, and you want to give everybody a chance to give whoever consumers an opportunity to understand that character. And from the perspective of Cat Sith, or from the perspective of Yuffie, or even some details with Vincent, which we'll probably see more next game. We really got a better feel for who they are, way beyond what the PlayStation One title was capable of doing. I've heard controversial things about how Barrett was treated. I need to go back and listen to him in English, but I felt in the Japanese version, his personality is very consistent. He has a very core belief. He is the reason why Avalanche had such a significant impact. And whenever he gets emotional, which is many times in the story, I really feel those moments because of everything that happens to Avalanche and the journey that this team is going through. Aerith was treated with like way more attention and respect than the PlayStation One title. And I remember, being shocked when Aerith was killed in the PlayStation One version, because I guess the duration of time that you're with Aerith before the Temple of the Ancients in the PlayStation 1 version is enormously different if you compare it to the amount of time you get to spend with her in Rebirth. Whether she is singing and performing, or if she is giving a speech at Cosmo Canyon. I mean, there's just so many individual events or scenes that you see them get to communicate, whether maybe she's spending time with Yuffie or spending time with Red 13. And so the expanding is just really, really vast. When I think about some of the negative things, the only time I really felt negative is when I met with Chadley and he wanted me to do 37 more quests to find a dozen and a half
area.
things.
Yeah, every area.
There was definitely, I think it was between like Gungaga and maybe Junon that was the most significant. Really, Chadley, you're really going to make me go and like do 12 more towers after finishing 12 towers or something like that. But later in the game, like the Nebel area, it was more refreshing because of how exploration kind of changed. For example, chocobos can kind of fly on water in the Nebel area, and I just felt that to be way more refreshing just to kind of absorb that navigation change. Yeah, Cosmo Canyon, I didn't particularly enjoy flying, and I got a little bit frustrated finding some things. But Gongaga was the one with the forest with the elevation changes. That I really liked.
Yeah,
I think
was decent.
yeah, Gongaga.
Cosmo King.
Yeah, Cosmo Canyon was all right. I mean, I love the town. I felt like Bugenhagen was just incredible. My sons were like riveted. I mean, they were like nailed to the chair when Bugenhagen started to explain the history of the world. And I remind you, I'm translating this because it's all in Japanese. So it's just like like the presentation was just incredible. And for them, that this is like their influential moment, seeing these what we consider iconic characters, iconic moments that I thought were retold really well. Um, Seeing things like Rufus or is it Cornelio? Cornelio? Um,
Cornello.
Cornello was really, really, inspiring. Seeing Rude and Reno being able to fight against the Turks, and seeing how, I mean, I'm gonna give Rude a lot of credit. Rude basically was the brunt of the Turks' work if it ever came to fighting against Cloud and all of them. And Reno, he was out doing other things. I'm sure we'll find out. So it was there's a lot of great highlights. I find Sid. I want to. I find Sid very curious and interesting. I remember telling my sons how great Sid was in the PlayStation 1 game, and when they saw him in this game, they're like, "So, what's so great about him?" And I'm like, "But he does all these great things," and they don't know what that impact is yet. So, there are,
He
you know,
hasn't picked
many
up a spear yet.
stories. Yeah, he hasn't picked up a spear and done dragon jump, so, um, I like that there's many, more stories to be told. Um, the whole ending situation, I felt, you know, with Aerith was treated very respectfully. Obviously, like, well, I'll leave some other things. I think Reggie wants to talk about the final battle. I won't even talk about that. I'll leave that to Reggie. But man, there was just a lot of great moments that you got to see the team together. I remember getting personally emotional when Sid first crashed the plane when they were trying to leave Cosmo Canyon. Yeah, they were leaving Cosmo Canyon. They crashed the plane because it was the first time the team was actually all together in the same spot, and it
No, they were
reminded
leaving
me of.
Nibelheim when it crashed, right? They were leaving Nibelheim and crashed in Cosmo.
Was it
Huh?
leaving Nibelheim? I
It was
think it
leaving
wasn't leaving
Nibelheim.
Nibelheim.
They were leaving
Was it?
Nibelheim.
Okay,
Yeah, crashed.
I thought it was
They
leaving
crashed,
Cosmo.
and you motor through Cosmo Canyon all the way to uh not Corel, Costa del Sol.
Yeah, you park at Costa. That's true. Um, yeah, seeing the whole team together was very nostalgic. That's how I remember them. That's what I thought of in Advent Children, even though Aerith is not in Advent Children. So,
He is an
um,
M.
I mean, she is in Advent Children, but she's not with the team
Yeah.
doing any sort of action.
Yeah.
So, seeing, you know, the actual 9 of them together was really, really interesting. Yeah, a lot of positives. And I, you know, um, I'll save my thoughts then. I'm sorry, I've gone on for a long time. I'll let Reggie say
No,
some things.
I thought it was appreciative. I enjoyed your perspective on it. I mean, I agree. I thought the game was very, very well done. I did not run into as many issues as people had with the like massive amount of side missions. To me, that it made the world feel whole. Um, when I was thinking about why, when I originally played this game, why I liked Midgar so much, is because largely it's the only true full city in the entirety of the game. Everything else are just small little towns with like 3 or 4 shops, and you jump in and you jump out. Midgard feels like a lived-in place where there are rich people, there's the Shinra building, there's the slums, it's this whole sort of network of places where everything else just feels like nothing. And that they made every place feel as big as Midgar, I think is excellent because these are lived in worlds. These are actually things that happen. And you get a sense of the world is full. I think we talked about it much earlier where Shinra never felt like the bad guy the moment Sephiroth showed up. Because how could they? Like he's this uh, silver haired dude with a long sword cutting things up along his way. But like Shinra is actively a really bad force in this world. And you see their effects and how they reach far and wide across every place that you go, from sort of starting a pseudo war with Wutai to what they did to Barrettstown and Corel, and actually seeing people like really suffer under that. You know, I think that type of stuff is excellent. Characters act, you know, wonderful. Particularly, shout out to Reeve slash Kate Sith, who when I might have just been a dumb kid, but I never understood the connection between the two, and I was like, wait, so are they just controlling the robot? And I was like, well, why? Um, but the more you spend in these games, the more you see Reeves' sort of crisis of conscience. I mean, like I work for really bad people, and earlier we just dropped a section of the place on top of another place to kill at best 5 people, and everybody seemed okay with that except for me. And I don't know what's going like now. I feel weird about everything that I've been doing. I don't think this is the right place for me, so I'm doing my best to help while still being a company man. You know, Sif still has to do his betrayal. All that has to happen, and he has to make his. It's still very funny to see his quote unquote sacrifice after knowing that like you're a robot. It's not a sacrifice at all.
Yeah,
Like,
so yeah, because and then the more he's with the team, the more he realizes that they're on the right side of the story.
Also, very, very funny that like the moment he shows up, everybody's like, "You're obviously a spy. Like, we're gonna continue rolling with you, but like, I'm pretty sure you're a spy. Like, you have no strong motivation to follow us whatsoever. You're just here. Pretty positive you're a spy." And lo and behold, of course, they're right. So it's very funny in that aspect. But if we jump to the final battle, probably is actually the part I like the least. Um, I'll admit I'm generally kind of confused at what exactly is going on at this point in the story.
Very.
And it frustrates me because I've said before I'm not a huge fan of the 3-part saga. However, I will admit that the game definitely benefited from having the 3-part saga, because if the game played all the way through like it did the first game, I think we'd be missing out on a lot, because they refined a lot in this new game to make it much better, particularly with the battle system and things like that. But it's always cool to see Sephiroth. It's great to see Zack in the mix. Um, to have everybody have their sort of moment. Genova's here, but at the end of it, I won't go too deeply into it, but at the end of it, I'm just sort of like, okay, so where does that leave us, and what's going on? I mean, like, I still know how the story is supposed to end, and as far as I understand, they said they're not changing it drastically. So I feel like everything is going to get wrapped up in a semi-neat little bow, but there's still a lot out there on a pretty medium cliffhanger about like what are we going to do next, and I guess we'll have to see. I'm not wrong in misremembering that none of the proper weapons have shown up yet, i.e., Ultimate, Emerald, Ruby.
No, we saw infant
Correct.
weapons, just infant weapons.
We just saw weapons. We've not seen the ones who we're familiar with.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
that is.
'Cause there's a lot to unpack.
So,
Yeah.
And summons. We haven't seen them all.
So
What are we missing?
we still haven't seen Knights of the Round Table.
Nice little
And if
wrap.
they might do different versions of Bahamut, because there was a Bahamut Kai that you fought.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, we got a
on
different
Guild Wars
Bahamut
Channel.
in this one, in this game. From
So then we should get. So should we
There's
get
two.
Neo Bahamut? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, there's still a couple more summons to go, but as far as the ending is concerned, I mean, I do think Aerith died, but I also think that he saved Aerith, because every time you change something that is supposed to happen, a new universe gets created. Life stream. So I believe that somewhere in the life stream, another version of Aerith is still alive, and then kind of see how that plays out. Third finale. That's kind of how I interpret it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with it well, because I couldn't really hazard a guess on my own.
Yeah.
So it's like, it. What I guess I enjoy, because if this third game is the last game, they chopped it up differently than they did the original 3-disc game. Because the third disc is just the end of the story, right? Like there's not much else to do in the third disc other than just like beat the game.
Just
Whereas
psychotic
this
breakdown.
one, yeah.
Life.
Yeah. Whereas this one, we've got
Maybe it was the mission with Hojo.
Oh yeah.
Tifa still has to get captured. No.
She's got to get captured. She's got to have a slap fight on top of a cannon. I mean, all the weapons have to show up.
And they haven't been to the tundra yet.
Yeah.
They haven't been to the tundra like that. I'm guessing that's where they
got to snowboard.
Still got to go to Rocket Town.
Right, yeah, Rocket Town. Shoot.
Still got to go to Wutai.
Wutai should be so
Oh
good.
yeah, oh my gosh. Wutai could be amazing.
Still got Medeal. And then it's gonna be a lot. The third game is gonna be a lot different from the original, because all the things that we've had, all the extra elements that we've had built in from the previous games, is gonna be very prevalent in this game. The whole Wutai and everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
Viceroy Saruf, who is actually Rufus Shimmer the entire time.
Right.
Stuff like that. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. But Happy Jube, you have anything game related that's on your mind?
Actually, I have a small announcement. You guys remember the game X Primal?
Yeah, Exo
That
Primal.
it was. Yeah, so that game is actually officially is going to receive no more updates to its content. So basically, it's still going to stay up on the store. It's still going to stay online for people to play, but it's just going to be recycled content from now on. So
I can see that.
yeah, that's X Prime. That's X Primal for you. So I guess
It was cool in concept, but I think that game was kind of like a test bed for things they want to put into like their game, like Dead Rising,
yeah.
like that.
I mean, it's not like they tried though. I'll give them credit for trying. It was a new concept. They even tried to do the mixture thing where they even tried to take one of the Monster Hunter monsters and put them in X Primal and vice versa. So
Which monster showed up in Exo Primal?
what do you say?
Which Monster Hunter monster showed up?
I forgot what the dinosaur, dinosaur that's
Diablos.
fight. Yeah, Diablos. They brought him into X Primal. And then there was one of the dinosaurs from X Primal went into Monster Hunter World out of all games, and
Really? In the world?
yeah, they had a collab. There was a whole collab thing going on, and actually one of the X Primals katanas for if you had the katana build, you could get his katana and something. And yeah, I guess a lot of people didn't forget about it because that actually was like Monster Hunter World's last like community update was X Primal crossover.
Let's see.
So
that is, I did not know that World was still getting updates. It's crazy.
no, yeah, it was shocking because Capcom was trying to get X Primal more exposure because one of the biggest critics is that X Primal didn't start getting somewhat good till like 15, 20 hours in of gameplay, and it was just like that's a little too long for me to get to the good stuff, to get to the good missions.
There's a story in there. It's just
yeah,
a while to
you gotta play like a couple of matches to progress the story, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose, but you still gotta play it. And for some people, it's tedious. Their time is precious. They need they want the story stuff now. They want these modes now. They don't want to play and wait and then unlock it. So
yeah, they should have just made a full-on campaign. Then after that, you jump to the multiplayer.
Yeah, it was interesting what they were trying to do. But yeah,
I actually liked where the story was from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I actually finished the story.
Okay.
So it wasn't bad at all. The multi-dimensional rift that they kind of created and everyone was stuck in, it was cool. And also Virgil being the AI, well, the voice actor of Virgil was like this crazy AI in this game, which we call him the AI Edge Lord. It was the story wasn't bad. It's just, I guess maybe not tie it to the multiplayer aspect of it. They should have, they should, like I said, probably should have just made its own separate campaign.
Yep.
So
that way you get down all the gameplay mechanics, complete the campaign, and roll into the multiplayer. And then maybe you get some bonus content at that. Yeah, Jube, you got anything? On once, going twice.
No, not really. I'm just ready to talk about topics.
All right, cool. All right, well, once again, before we jump into our first topic of the day, let me get this timestamp. Then we roll. All right. Before we start this topic, I just want to remind everyone, especially since I'm breaking this up in chapters right now, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this out. We appreciate everyone who comes through to the channel, whether they check this out later or check us out live. Appreciate that. And with that being said, let's jump into our first topic of today. Transformers games coming back. It appears that they're coming back in a big way. On Steam and Xbox, a lot of the old Activision Transformers games have been relisted, along with the announcement today of a Transformers Overwatch 2 collaboration. So it looks like we're gonna be seeing a lot of these old Transformers games coming back, and with the re-up of these licenses, maybe we get a new AAA Transformers game again. Um, what do you guys think about it? I'm gonna kick it off with Nappy. Are you gonna be picking up these Transformers games on Steam, or you already got it on some type of emulator?
Um, so I have to say the first though I can't remember exactly what Transformer game. I just remember there was a Transformer game on Xbox 360, and I had so much fun with it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I just know that it was fun. It was one of my favorite It was one of my favorite games on Xbox 360 for the time. The story was pretty interesting, but the actual like gunplay mechanics for the game and transforming into your ship and going around and transforming back and with the fire and combat stuff, it was actually like extremely good. It's fun from what I remembered, and if they're going to list everything back on the stores, and if it's coming onto Steam, then I might actually like look into that just to go down memory lane, because I do still have a crazy backlog of games. But I'm excited to see Transformers games come back because I do have a memory that Transformer games were good. I don't know where I'm gonna get the time. I mean, I'm still waiting for the Gundam game to come out. So, and I'm already playing Megaton Musashi. So, it's gonna be difficult. But I am excited though. I am excited to see like a really good Transformer game. I'm curious to see like what they're going to do for the modern times, because I don't know if they're going to stick to it being like a story, which I kind of like hope they kind of do, but then I understand if they want to add like an online multiplayer with different Gundams and stuff.
I think initially you're just gonna get that FPS boost on console, frame rate boost. Probably like
As they should.
polished.
Don't upgrade the graphics. Just give us 60 FPS. Give the console player 60 FPS. I mean, look, man, people
They do do a
tired.
slight graphical boost when the Xbox back compat team goes in there and does it. So it does kind of look like a new game, like more like it looks like a remaster almost. They do it like, for instance, Red Dead got the Xbox back compat treatment, and as a result,
Yeah,
the remaster didn't come to the Xbox. It only came to, I think, the PlayStation. I'm not sure if it.
Nah, PC. We just emulate the PlayStation 3 version.
Yeah, but they got a remaster on the PlayStation side, whereas Xbox the back compat program for the game like a couple years in that platform.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm really curious to see. Like, I'm glad to see the old Gundams game come back. That's our Gundam Transformer games come back. So I am definitely going to keep an eye out to look for see if there's anything that pops on Steam. As I'm looking on Steam right now, yeah,
It's
there's
just
actually a
relisted.
couple.
It's just relisted. It's not on sale yet.
Yeah, they actually no, it's they do have one Transformers game I see, but that's about it. But that's not one of the old school Transformer games, so yeah, I'm curious to see where the rest of the Transformer games that are going to be relisted.
Captain Xbox. How you feeling about these Transformers games coming back and potentially dropping in Game Pass pretty soon?
Oh, I loved War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. Fantastic freaking games, man.
That's it. War of Cybertron. That was my game. That I remember now. Took a while to remember.
Yeah, like I hope they come back and I hope they get dropped into Game Pass. Like I would absolutely replay those again. They were so good. Yeah, just gonna have a
Um,
drink. My thing is like I'm kind of in the boat with you guys as far as making sure that like they don't need to reinvent the wheel. You know, the games were great on their own. Like maybe touch them up here and there, but there's not a whole lot that they need to be doing in
with
terms of
the
this. So it shouldn't be crazy resources.
with the re-upping of the um licensing and Transformers now being in Overwatch 2, do you think that High Moon Studios might get a chance at making a new one?
I hope so. If I mean, obviously they still own the property, right?
Or they license Paramount or first?
Hasbro.
Hasbro, whoever.
Yeah.
Movie rights, then right. Maybe they no, because someone else has made Transformers games over the past couple years. But they're more like kids games.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah, Zero. What are your thoughts on the Transformers games relisting recently?
I think it's cool. I'll admit, as far as I can remember, the only Transformers game that I've ever played is Transformers Devastation, um,
Ah, so
which I
you'd
really
actually
did
go back and
enjoy.
play these games if they come back out, possibly.
Probably not. I'm not a
Probably not.
huge Transformers fan. They don't I like the robots. I feel like Lego Transformers would be a hit. Surprised they didn't
Has
get the
there
Lego
ever
treatment.
been a Lego
What?
Transformers game?
Why has it got to be Legos though, man? We get it, man. Damn.
They're basically
You know
Legos
why?
themselves.
You know why it has to be Lego? Because Lego Transformers will come to the Switch. And no guy at heart.
I mean, Nintendo
That
had
makes
a
sense.
Transformers game on the Switch a few years ago. Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
It's like a little multiplayer thing. I didn't play it because I don't really care much about Transformers, but I mean that just seems like a match made in heaven, right? Like they already sort of reshaped themselves to be a great many things. Like why not Lego.
And
But
that
I
would
think
be a
it's
good
cool.
collab.
Yeah, like Transformers have always been cool. Cars, robots in disguise. Um, more games the better. I just don't have honestly very strong opinions on the brand or the games themselves. I did really like Devastation, but
Did
that's about as far as I could get with it.
Michael Bay wear you out?
Uh, Not so much because whoever's making the new ones sort of brought me back in, so that was all right. Like the newer
Okay.
ones are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the last one was
Um,
pretty deep.
yeah, like they're having a good time, and that's nice because they are just silly robot things from Japan, so like they don't have to be too crazy serious.
The next one's gonna be pretty interesting though, because they're doing Transformers G.I. Joe.
And the GI Joe crossover, so like
Yeah.
that should be fun. But I have no strong opinions on the Autobots or Decepticons. Go watch Beast Wars. I think it's still on Netflix, right?
Is Beast Wars on Netflix?
It's on Paramount.
Oh, Paramount. It was
Yeah,
on
I don't
Netflix
think
for a little
but there
bit.
is a like Beast Wars type story because they got their own Netflix licensed Transformers show that are actually pretty deep. But it's like too many of them for me to keep up with. But they have like probably probably 100 episodes. It feels like Netflix own Transformers show.
When they merge with the Fast and Furious series, then I'll be interested.
Oh my god, man! I mean, the cars are Fast and Furious already got cars out in space, so
It's match made in heaven, baby. It's right there.
What's up, Daniel? Thank you for coming through. And last but not least, Kofi, how are you feeling about the relisting of the Transformers game and the potential of maybe getting some new ones?
Generally happy about the idea of a new Transformers game. I have to go look at some of these titles that are getting relisted because there isn't really any particular title that would get me super excited. But maybe I'm missing out on some nostalgia that I just forgot about. Um, Devastation. I don't recall spending a lot of time with. And I want to see if I'm even forgetting a title.
It is 2 gens
But
ago.
yeah, exactly. It was 2 gens ago. So I do remember there being a couple PS3 games. But in general, moving forward, um, I mean, Transformers has all the potential, right? I mean, you could take it really, really small and personal, only having maybe a few Transformers that you play as, or it could be something like Gundam Breaker, where you are able to customize your Transformers and play some sort of online co-op experience. I think there's a lot of space there. You just need the right developer. So definitely a huge win.
And I'm gonna address Daniel's question in the chat. Feel free to contribute, guys. But I do think that PlayStation could still launch a PS5 Pro even without new games. they have the ability to do third-party deals. So maybe they lock up a third-party exclusive. Um, Metal Gear Solid. So they got a couple big games that they could the launch the PlayStation 5 Pro around, like Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill 2. Um, Maybe they do like a bundle with that. Um, Even though it didn't quite show well to most people, I do think there are some titles that they could definitely launch the PS5 Pro around. And then there's still a couple games that could come out with a quick turnaround time. Insomniac's been pretty good about getting games out pretty quick, and they're rumored to have Venom in the work, so they could launch the PS5 Pro with Venom. So I do think, um, I think they will without any new games. I'm not sure, but if they do, there's plenty of third party opportunities they can lock up some type of deal. Anybody else have any thoughts on possible PS5 Pro? Talk has kind of died down recently.
I'm not concerned at all for any pro version of either one of these consoles. Quite frankly, like just give us the games that we need.
Yeah.
They're kind of
I
behind
was just
on the
saying.
games department. Yeah, different live service.
I'm about to say, if it's not going to take advantage of that new DDR7, the GDDR7, then there's no point.
I mean, just more 60 frames per second option. Also, that's pretty much it's not going to be drastically different than the PlayStation 5. It's just going to be higher resolution frame rate. It's like a new generation. But yeah, any other thoughts, Kofi, the PlayStation guy? Thoughts on the potential of a PS5 Pro launching and they would do it without any particular game?
Yeah, I think that they would still, if they feel there is an opportunity to release this console, I mean, this Pro without a AAA, banger that they expect to sell tens of. I still think they would consider it heavily. I don't know for sure. Obviously, like the only first party thing that we know is Astrobot, and that's not something that people are gonna immediately look to a PlayStation 5 Pro for. But I don't know if that would necessarily deter PlayStation from doing that. I mean, Farrell, you bring up some good points. There
Oh, lost
are other
you.
top from
Fine.
developers they've worked to put with the Pro, maybe within a 6-month window of release. But I still think that, barring any strange, price increases with the economy, that I wouldn't be surprised if the Pro still comes out this fall.
So you're still expecting the
Obviously
Pro
the
model to
closest.
come out.
I don't know about expecting, or I don't necessarily want or expect that.
I'm
But
not asking if you
after
want it, but do
all of
you
the
do you think
talks,
Sony's actually going to go through with the Pro model?
I would say there's a 60% chance that just based on what rumors and all the talk that I saw, that there will be some sort of Pro model out this year.
Okay.
That's not a high degree of confidence. Um,
No
because we
problem.
know that titles still are fairly impressive. Obviously, there are some technical limitations, but there's also scope and dev time that can limit the potential use of current consoles. So I I think the console's coming. I'm not super confident it'll be before December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you about the whole Game Pass thing. We'll definitely be talking a little bit about Game Pass a little bit later. Um, and I think we cleared this Transformers topic, so we'll be diving into our second topic of the day. Let me get the timestamp for that. And as we go into our second topic of the day, just want to remind people to like, subscribe, share this out. And we are going to be talking about First Descendant. It launched last week to mass success. People are playing it like crazy across all platforms, and having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, we have two people on the panel who have actually had a chance to put a pretty good amount of hours into the game. So I'm gonna kick it off with Jubei this time. Jubei, what are your thoughts so far on playing First Descendant? Oh, going once.
Jube?
Sorry, one more time.
What are your thoughts on playing First Descendant? Your first impression?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you want to come back to me?
Yeah,
I
I'll
want to
come
hear
back to you.
Nappy's
Yeah,
take
yeah,
first.
you're all good. All right, Nappy, you're up. You're up. What are your thoughts on First Descendant? I know you got more than 10+ hours into this.
Um, Actually, yes, I even got a little bit of gameplay for you guys to enjoy in the
All right.
background. As we talk about this topic. So, First Ascendant, I currently, let's look at my library. I have a total of 33 hours in First Ascendant. So that's a decent amount of time. So it's right now, I have a total of 5 different Descendants so far. Even though I did my starter build, I actually did put $30 into First Ascendant because I wanted Sharon as my first Descendant, which she only costs around like $5 of the crypt currency. And also I did get Iseso, which is the bomber like first Descendant that I got. So he's currently a level 36, while Sharon's already got maxed out to level 40. As far as the bosses going by, I am currently around level 70 with as far as my equipment is concerned.
Yo!
Hey, you
Wait,
got
what?
30
Sorry.
hours and he ain't playing.
Oh, you got 30 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
33.
Actually, to be
I'm sorry to
exact, I
interrupt
got 33 hours.
Yeah, 33.
Okay,
Don't disrespect.
I am 2 bosses away from beating the whole main story. So I actually got a good amount of gameplay into this. And to give you guys a backstory about these type of games, I was a heavy Warframe player. So a lot of my references, as much as people say, oh, don't try to compare it to Warframe and Destiny, you kind of got to compare it to Warframe and Destiny because those are its biggest competitors right now is Warframe and Destiny too, because they already have their established player base. And here's First Ascendant coming in trying to grab that established player base. Now, as far as the game right now, peaking around 230,000 players around the first week. Because it's free to play, you got to rate it differently. You want to see long-term numbers. I mean, the first week is always going to have like these crazy amount of numbers because it's a free entry to play. Now, I will say though, this game does take a lot from Destiny and Warframe. Some good stuff, some bad things. Starting off with the good things. I have to say, as playing as Sharon's like the assassin type character that is electric base. I really do enjoy playing with her. As far as playing Asimo, he's a demolition type. He's a fire-based character. I'm right now currently leveling him up, and I'm enjoying him. The story of First Ascended is meh. It's not bad, but it's not like this crazy like in-depth story. They're basically trying to find these iron hearts, which are these little mystical orb things that basically grant you powers and can do all this crazy stuff. I'll admit, sometimes it seems like there's multiple iron hearts. At the beginning of the game, you kind of lose one. The second one, you kind of get betrayed and they take it, and then you get the third one, which you finally get to keep, and then you're trying to figure out how to harness this power. So it's not a too depth in story, and honestly, sometimes they drag the story out just for the game. As far as like gameplay wise, the guns feel good. I do not like the casting times of any of the Descendants because you're still vulnerable, so you can't just. And the casting times can take up to a second and a half, which like you will literally stop everything that you're doing to do a casting animation, and you will get like lit up in the middle of it. So positioning is extremely important on this.
You know who that doesn't happen to?
Well, who?
Bunny.
No, we're not going to talk about Bunny. Okay, we're not going to talk about Bunny. So actually, and that's actually funny too. The one thing I will say though about Bunny's actually good for crowd control. She is not that great for bosses. And trust me, when you get to the later boss,
melting them. I don't
no,
know about you.
no, you will trust me. When you get to the later bosses, it shows. Like Bunny is like you see a Bunny character on your team going to certain boss battles,
You roll your eyes.
you run into some issues. Especially there's like one boss that's he's like the third boss from the last. He's like a fire base, and what the game doesn't tell you is that this motherfucker got 90 plus resistance to fire base attack. I mean, not fire base attack, fire bullet. Basically gun based attack. So basically, you could be shooting this thing all day, and he has 90% resistance to all your bullets. This is an ability damage dealer, and he's already has strong resistance against fire, and a very strong against fire, and strong resistance against thunder. So you take a Bunny in there, Bunny's going to get chewed up. Firebase, all the Firebase characters are basically like they can't really dish out damage because he has high resistance.
So
you're
really shoot with Bunny though. It's all.
I mean,
that's not going to really fuck with me like that.
The thunder is not going to do much. And guarantee you that I can. Let's just say like it did. Like we had to remove all the bunnies away from our team to get these bosses done. And also like as you get further into the game. That's when like the modding of this game is going to take heavily effect because because like I said, your Descendant can only go up to mastery rank 40, which is kind of okay. I know that they took a lot of things with Warframe as far as the modding system goes. I do think it's a dumbed down version, and some of the mods don't kind of make any sense. And also, I don't like the fact that there was a cash grab way of basically once you max out your Descendant, when you get to level 40, you get this special like in-game currency item for the first time you max out a Descendant. It adds 20 extra modding points to your Descendant, but it's like one of the in-game grinding gears. But you can also purchase it for like $5 of USD currency compared to in-game currency, which. It's kind of a turnoff, but at the same time, Warframe kind of does the same thing with their catalyst things. That when you smack it onto maxed out weapons and maxed out Warframes, it actually doubles the mod capacity from 30 to 60. The polarity slots, I think they were a little stingy with the polarity slots. I think I could have added more. It's not bad, but it's again, it's not really the best thing of it. As far as customization goes, I actually hate it. I'm okay with buying cosmetics as far as like you want to look like a little maid's outfits and want to be running around with the maid. It's okay. I'm cool with that. My issue is that they took the worst part. They took the cosmetic of old school Destiny 2, where you only get one type of paint and you can apply that to a certain part of your armor one time. And the fact of the matter is you cannot customize default skins. So you have to go to the store or find some way to unlock one of those epic skins. Then you can apply your paint onto that instead of just allowing you to apply your paint on the default skin. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but that to me is extremely scummy. Like allow people to customize a character. Even Destiny 2 realized how scummy that was, and they changed it where, hey, if you own the paint, you own the paint. That's yours forever.
Question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How difficult is it to acquire that particular currency that's typically for premium skins? I forget what it's called.
Actually, so I don't really know. I don't, as far as it, because I put $30 into it just because I wanted to play with my own type of Descendants. I didn't feel like grinding, because I would say grinding for Descendants, I was able to grind 3 different Descendants, so that's easy. As far as grinding the skins, I don't see a way of you grinding the skins, which is an issue for me. I have never unlocked a skin naturally.
Got it.
So that's why I said like the whole customizing skin thing is like a big issue for me, because the game really needs to let you be able to customize a default skin. It doesn't make any sense why you have to buy one of the other skins, and then you can apply your paint onto that. That to me is extremely scummy. So for that being said, also boss battles are really good. I actually do enjoy them. As you get progressively further into the game, you will notice that the bosses will get significantly harder, and they will actually teach you on certain things. Like one boss will be like, hey, if you pay attention to the modding portion of this, you'll be able to beat this boss. One boss will be focusing on gunplay. One boss will be focusing on, hey, we have a high resistance against all guns, but you have to have like certain characters with certain elemental abilities to do a decent amount of damage, which was that pyro guy, which is like one of the biggest hurdles for First Ascendant as far as like difficulty gap, because that's when all the bunnies start realizing that, oh shit, I can't just run around and just shock him. It's not working, because he will murder you in a heartbeat.
Okay.
For all you bunnies.
Overall, the tattoos?
The tattoos I did. I just haven't put them onto my Descendant at all. And also I did go for the game battle pass just because I was interested. So far I don't see the battle pass as nothing too crazy. I did get like a few gun skins and a few guns from the battle pass. I have to say, like, it's okay. I will give credit though for I have like 3 legendary guns right now. I'll give credit to the fact that it'll let you that getting all the materials to upgrade all your weapons and guns is actually really good. I actually really like that for Descendant, because I can get a gun legendary weapon that's like rank 30, but then because I have this one like item that you can honestly grind for, that's very easy to grind for. When you get to the end game, when all your equipment is like level 99 or level 100, I can start spending that currency to level up all my like legendary gear to its max performance. Also, I do like the fact that you can reload all of these specs, like similar to Destiny 2, and it's actually extremely easy to get that currency. Do not sell none of your guns to the shop. Always dismantle everything that you don't need. You have a better chance of
you'll get gold, but you need the materials that come from dismantling to do anything else.
Yeah, dismantle. Always dismantle. Never sell your guns, never sell your mods. Always dismantle everything.
You know what? Not to
get going.
Off, there's one thing I don't like. I don't know if you noticed, like your reactor. You can't. There's no way to level it up. Like
you're a little low. I don't know if I'll read.
You say the reactor, you can't level up your reactor. What do you mean? You talking about
like, you know how you can enhance like a legendary or a weapon to give it the same, like, you know, the Destiny thing where you dismantle, you give it the same level as something else, right?
Yes.
There's no way to do that for reactor unless that comes a lot fucking later.
Are you, the reactor pieces? I think no, I don't think so. Yeah, but at the same time,
you can enhance them in the sense that, you know, it ups their stats and you get more capacity to equip things, but it doesn't. If you get if it's a level 23, you know, ultimate drop, it's always going to be level 23. Like, it's never going to move.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, I
wish that you could feed stronger ones into this one, because it's like I like this one, but now I'm gonna have to move away from it just because of power creep and because it's getting out leveled by everything else.
Yes, but I will definitely say that's one of the reactors. Honestly, level doesn't matter as much, especially after you get to like level 70. There's still people waiting in game with like level 70 reactors, still nuking the map. So I kind of get what you're saying, but also reactors drop very often, like way too often for me not to be upset about it.
Dismantle them.
Yeah, so
I don't need any of these.
So overall, I would definitely also the game loop is decent enough. I do like zones. Zones are nice. So it's not really an open world type game. So basically you go into each zone, you have 3 missions plus like sometimes you have hidden missions, or you have one of those other missions where that involves maybe like defending the space for a long period of time while fighting a wave of enemies. Or they have other session weapons, basically where you just run through a a map with 3 other friends, and then you kill a boss. They're actually fun to do. That's actually going to be your main way of grinding for descendants and weapons. It's not that hard. The drop rates are a little bit, this reminds me of mobile games, but not too bad. I mean, the drop, it's a little inconsistent for me because sometimes it takes me like 20 sessions to get one part, and then another time it took me like 2 sessions to get another part.
Don't even get me started on that. Like I don't know if you saw in the chat, I said I was going after a Descendant module for Bunny, like one of those red ones.
Mm-hmm.
I got drops for every other fucking character that I don't have.
Oh yeah, those dedicated ones.
The dedicated ones, yeah. And I finally got that one, but it's like, geez, dude. It's like, oh, it's a 1.2% drop rate. No, the fuck it is not. I didn't realize
it is 1.2% is low.
It's extremely low, but you also have to think, you have to tack on the factor of, even though this mission is for getting the specific one for your character, the whole pool of fucking characters is possible there. So that 1.2% is a lie to me.
Wait.
So
what do you mean? What do you mean it's a lie? I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
So it'll say, oh, it's a 1.2% drop rate to get this item to your character, right?
After you complete the mission.
After you complete the mission, but that item can also drop for any descendant in the game, even ones you don't have yet. So I feel like that 1.2 is a little facetious because I don't think it calculates the fact that it also has to check RNG against other descendants that you may or may not have.
Oh.
And I said, I got like 4 of them to drop that weren't for my character that I'm playing. So I was like, well, that seems like a high drop rate, but it's not for my character. So,
yeah. I would definitely have to say, overall, like, I think I need to see First Descendant last at least a month. After a month, all the people remaining after that time, I'm going to consider its dedicated fan base. Because right now it's free to play, so everyone's jumping into this game.
Even as a free to play, I'm pretty sure this is like the most successful UI that's free to play, like in a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, it's right now. I would say successful as of a week, but it's like free to play. You want to have players over time, instead of just having immediate players. It's not like I even though yes, I did drop $30. Like again, a majority of people didn't drop any money. They just downloaded the game and played it just to see if they liked it.
I needed that ultimate skin, bro. I needed it. So
did you buy? Please don't tell me you bought the maid skin like everyone else. I was like, shh. You bought the maid skin.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, you bought the maid. What did you buy for Bunny? You bought the maid skin for Bunny?
Okay.
You know how much that cost?
She got them yams, bro. You thought
all the characters got the yams. Everyone was saying Sharon got yams. Literally every single female in that game got yams.
Mommy's got
yams. You like Bunny yams.
I mean, I do like the fact that you get Bunny early. They do let you farm Bunny relatively easily to show you how to, by the way, get Descendant.
You do get base, but I bought Ultimate.
Yeah, I unlocked Bunny for free.
Yeah, Bunny is actually should be the very first Descendant you unlock, and her legendary gun. They give that to you for free, which this Korean game definitely took some stuff off of the mobile games, because mobile games like to do that, where they'll give you like the SSR character and their weapon at the very beginning, saying like, hey, see, here you go. Here's a taste of the ultimate character, and then give you that 1% to 3% chance of getting those other legendary characters.
I could definitely see that it's a Korean game because I was on Twitter earlier today and I saw one of the skins. And I was like, oh, they made a new skin for Stellar Blade. And I was like, oh no, it's First Descendant.
No, they love their mates. They love their mates. Yeah. They love their pandas. They love their yeah, they have the panda backpack and they love their little cat outfits. Yeah, so
if
there is a maid
outfit. Games, check out Vindictus. That's another game by them that has a very similar theme.
Hey man, look man, they love that booty. They love that Korean booty.
I thought it was Stellar Blade for sure, and then I saw it was First Descendant.
Yeah. My closing argument, I'll say my closing thing is, do I think First Descendant is going to last? I think it is going to get its dedicated player base. And they already announced this roadmap for 2 seasons, so I'm really curious about that. I want to see what the player base is going to be after 1 month. and I want to see like when they're going to start implementing their roadmap as far as like extra content and new Descendants. I'm already getting to the, like I said, my gear's already at level 70. Sharon was my first Descendant I maxed out. She's my self-assassin Descendant. I actually like her. I actually like her a lot, but the only issue with her is that she is sometimes a little bit has issues with crowd control. Where at the beginning where she kind of is a little squishy, but once you get her leveled up, get her visibility in place, and then just like come out and go into her ambush phase, that's when all the crazy amount of damage. And I'm still working on the formula for the damage per second for the bullets, because it's like the same thing I did with Warframe to calculate how much damage each gun is. Like you have the damage per second, how many rounds are per minute, then you have to do this whole divide the rounds per bullet for the second, and it's a whole equation, and then you got to add crit chance and then crit hit to it to see like to know the exact damage. Some people are starting to figure it out a little bit, but they're noticing a bunch of inconsistencies with the formulas, and I am too. So I'm wondering what the missing variables are, which I'm pretty sure is the enemy's armors and enemies like resistances. So yeah, it's going up, but I think the first Descendant does have a decent foundation. There is some stuff they need to work on. Also, make us able to customize the default skin colors. Do not make us buy one-on paints. One-on paints suck. Give us the actual paint palette and let us customize our characters. You already got motherfuckers dropping $50 on goddamn maid outfits. Just give us the colors. You are. No, I'm not putting the guy's business out there. I'm just saying, like, look, you guys already made $50. Whenever I see a maid outfit, I'm like, okay, this man dropped 50. This person dropped 50. This person dropped 50. Y'all motherfuckers already paid damn near full game price for a free-to-play game. Give us a free color palettes, man. Look, man, just sell the booty pick. Just sell not the booty picks. Sell the booty skins. We get it. People love the maid outfits. You guys are making money off of that. Y'all don't need to make money off of colors. Destiny 2 got rid of that for a reason. Why'd y'all pick that up? It's bad. Do not do that. But overall, I do think it's going to have a solid player base. I just want to see the numbers after a month so that I know that is this dedicated fan base for Steam. And let's see how it moves forward. And I'm actually looking forward to leveling up my other 3 Descendants that I have to level up, because I got my starter Descendant and I immediately dropped him for Sharon because I want to be a stealth assassin.
My wife's brother walked in the door right before I did the show. He's like, "Hey man, you play First Descendant?" He said, "I'm about to go play it right now." He literally like went to his car, got a controller, and started playing First Descendant off his phone through the Xbox app.
And it is a fun game. It has a fun game loop. So I can see the game loop getting somewhat boring. I mean, right now, this is currently fresh. We don't have we don't have another Destiny 2 or Warframe out there. So this can get a solid footing into the door. Like I said, I got to see after a month how many people are actually sticking around. But all those maid outfits, they made their money. They fucking made their money.
And being that it also has a mobile presence, I think it'll last.
Yeah, the mobile. I don't like how some of the mobile like microtransaction stuff carried over in this game. It clearly shows that's the one thing I hate, is they do have slightly scummy practices. But then again, Warframe had it too. Destiny 2 had it. So I understand people have to make their money there, and it's stuff that can change and adjust over time. I just want the color palettes. I want to be able to paint my default skins. I don't believe in me having to purchase a new skin, then I can customize the colors on that new skin. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
I got you. All right, Juba, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? Or I know you already made some comments.
Yeah, the store on this game is predatory. I'm not even on cap. It is. It 100% is. Like, it's crazy.
Still got yours.
Yeah, they got me though. But yeah. I don't fuck with that part. And the default skin thing I also thought was really stupid. Having to paint so it's like 25 of the in-game currency to get a color, to get one of that color, and you typically are probably going to need like 5 if you want to color a whole outfit.
6.
barring like you have items that can even be colors. Some items you can't even apply color to. So there's that as well. But my bunny hit 40 today, so it's like, oh, cool. But I having to grind for specific little items and shit and missions is gonna get mad dry trying to solo run through all this. Just because them drop rates are fucking abysmal. But overall, it is a lot of fun. It is gonna suffer from the problems that Destiny and Warframe and shit had because it fucking launched with those problems instead of learning from them. But here's hoping that it continues to get better every single update and it lasts a little bit. I mean, it's not like they're not making money because they absolutely are with all these damn skins running around.
Zero. Both of you guys have any thoughts about the success of this game, and guys, sure you get a chance to play it?
I'd say we both been playing it.
Okay.
I'm level 40. I'm a level 40
Everyone's level
Ajax.
40. Y'all been grinding on this
Yeah,
game.
everyone maxed out their first character already. Looks like.
Well, I'm level 23 right now,
Okay.
and I'm about 10 hours in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on my second Descendant, Frenya, the Acid Girl. So I'm working with her.
Ooh,
really
she's really good at late game. That's like
Yeah.
one of the best damage dealers over time.
Trying to get to Kyle and Esemio, but I'll get to them when I get to them. But I really like the game. But there's so much of it that I don't engage with at all. I've just been through this road with MMOs or however looter shooters, however you want to call them, where I sort of tune out. So I don't know what's going on in this game whatsoever. I've skipped every single piece of dialogue and story thing that has happened. I do not care. I think the only person, what's his name? Is it Jeremy? I knew that dude Jeremy sucked.
Oh, the drama dude? Yeah, he's all about like, I'm teleporting away from all of this because you're so annoying and I wish you would die. Like, he literally said that. I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry.
Like, I thought this dude sucks. I hate him. Anything else, I don't know why we're called Descendants. I don't know why we're doing what we're doing. I really don't care because the gameplay loop is pretty fun. And so most of the time, the reason why, for me, I've gotten so far in this game, I spent this weekend just kicking back, watching movies, doing all this type of stuff. I just put the first Descendant on a smaller screen and just played. Didn't have no sound, no headphones in. Just ran through it. And you just get used to the loop over and over and over again, which is not that boring. The game itself, I play it in the same way that I played The Division, where there is certainly strategy to be had, and skill sets that make sense. And I think once you get to like the late game, it will really sort of come into play. But from where I'm at now, it's just replace old gun with new gun. And you just keep swapping them and swapping them and swapping them. Like, number go higher, that's the one I'm going to pick.
Wait till you get to the later game. Trust me, when you jump into a new world and they say, "Hey, you need to build up this resistance because this enemy does this type of damage." I think it's I can't remember. I think it's like the third world you jump into or the third part of the map. When they tell you to equip toxic resistance, you better equip toxic resistance or else you're going to have a bad day.
You talking about the one where there's pools of acid on the ground?
Not that one, believe it or not. Okay. There's actually a later part of the world where the characters do toxin damage. And let's just say, like, right now you can ignore all the elemental damage early in the game, but once you get to like that level 50 to 60 mark, when they tell you, hey, you need to mod for this resistance, you better mod for this resistance because especially toxin, because toxin, oh my God, man, that crap was like that. It was like a eye opener. I was like, oh shit, these enemies are actually strong. I gotta pay attention to modding now. I now have to mod anti-toxic resistance and even when you find them bosses, they're going to tell you, hey, we recommend you to have at least a minimum of 21,000 fire resistance, because this boss does an incredible amount of fire damage. And if you don't have that fire resistance, you will get one-shotted. It gets crazy in the late game. So modding really comes in play, and your weapons and your rolls and everything really do come in play with this game. And a lot of late games,
because for me, what this is the race to the end game, and that's when the game opens up. Everything currently, like the third or second boss does chill damage. My whole point is don't get hit. Like I play a lot of these games in the same way you do, Kofi, when like Devil May Cry or Souls. It's like I don't ever block, just don't get hit. So that's like my whole motivation. Like just don't get hit.
And so, who are you playing as right now? Who are you playing as, Reggie? Oh, okay. Me too. Okay.
Yeah. So I actually like Ajax. The shield is dope. That's what made me want to go to Kyle, because I think he's like an even bigger shield person. So I'm enjoying it, but I am racing to the end game. So until I get to the end game, quite literally nothing matters to me. Like I just do not care until I get to the point where all of us can run together and then start doing some really, really challenging stuff.
Yes.
Because right now it's fun. Can't say it's challenging, but it's not meant to be yet. Like these games always open up a bit more. Once everybody's reached level 40 and you've got like 5 or 6 descendants under your belt. And like Dappy said, now bosses are doing $21,000 damage of fire. And like if you've got 0 fire resistance, you'll die in 1 hit. So it's time to load up and do something different. But I like it, man. The characters are cool. Gameplay's fun. It's free to play. Will it be a success? I honestly don't know. I think Nappy hit the nail on the head. Like, we still got some time to tell. Like, this early rise of people means absolutely nothing. It's a free-to-play game that came out right around the 4th of July holiday. That, the numbers don't mean anything until a month or 2 down the line. Who's still playing this game and who's still interested? And seeing what the first Descendant team is going to do to keep content fresh. Are we getting new Descendants? Are we getting new bosses? There's a whole bunch of stuff. So, like the game, I think it's free to play. I think if you've got a little bit of time, hop in with some friends, just run it, man. Like I said, I can't wait for us to play because I think it's very fun. So it's cool with me.
So everyone
well, really quick, I wanted to share some of my thoughts. I'm a little bit opposite to Reggie in that I almost listen to every single piece of dialogue of anybody that you're required to talk to, even the robot who gives you the assignments to like how to transfer your weapons and all that stuff. I don't
how
know
to get
why.
bunny. How to get bunny.
Yeah, exactly. How to get bunny. I don't know. Like now that Reggie mentioned that, I have no idea why. I've literally listened to every single dialogue. But yes, I've been playing as Ajax. I haven't played a lot of Warframe, but I played it when it first came out. And I always tried to get back into it. But when I played Warframe, I was late to the party, and I feel like I would spawn in, and the melee always felt awkward. And then the people I played with would just take off. I'd be like, where are you going? Oh, okay. Just
you don't know
slide and sprint and slide and split. Yeah, exactly.
You got to learn how to bullet jump in that game.
You got to learn how to bullet jump. But to me, I never got accustomed to just like spawn and go. Just go. Next one, go. And I'm like, whoa, like what about exploring this chest over here? There's some things to pick up. Because I'm thinking, hey, it's a free-to-play game. Let me get everything. Nope. That's it. We're leaving. I'm like, oh my gosh. So there is a sense of that in this game as well. You might spawn into an area and there's a trail of spaces that you need to navigate through. It's definitely a little more slowed down. There's rooms that you stay in. I feel like the melee is a little bit more, I don't know, the hit detection feels a little more intact. Of course, as Ajax, I love the crowd control. I'm really starting to enjoy like just stomping on people. Basically, Ajax has like a shield that he can set up that's a wall, a shield that he can set up that's like a circle dome, a stomping capability, and then he has like this rage that he kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a God of War yell, and anybody near him will take damage or get a little bit stunned. So that's been really great. Whether I'm sniping people or I migrated Bunny's ultimate, I guess it's called like Thunder Cage capability into one of my other like SMGs, like submachine guns. That's been really fun. Basically, like anybody I kill, they explode and lightning goes on other people. I just beat the second boss, and kind of like to Nappy's point, the second boss kind of like kicked us in the teeth a couple times. I had some people join my party that were like level 13 against like I think it's like a 29 boss, or not 29, like 20
Um,
boss.
I would say Descendant level doesn't matter too much.
Oh,
Because you can start when you start off with a new Descendant. Descendants can range from 1 to 40. It's more so the weapon gear that actually matters more than, and the modding system that matters more than the actual Descendants level. As
oh,
long as
okay.
as long as they're like up to like level 10 or 15, where they got all 4 of their abilities unlocked, that's probably the most important part. Like unless you're fighting a certain boss that like does not care about your weapon damage, that cares more about ability damage, then that will, yeah. So
No, that's good to know.
just
I actually didn't know that at all. What else was I going to say about this? Oh, yes. So I know everybody's aiming for a different hero. I am aiming for Glay. I feel the same way about Glay that Jubei feels about Bunny. Um, Trying to work on that. I know Glay is much more of an end game win. I've already done all the research, and I know all the well, I say research, but pun intended. I know you have to get all those things and then do research in the game. Um, but yeah, would like to definitely team up with you guys, but I got a ways to go, so I can max out my Ajax and unlock some of the areas so that I can start to farm for Glay.
All right. So I'm the only fraud in the group. I have downloaded the game but have yet to play it. But I should get the game tomorrow. I doubt I'll be at level 40 by the next episode, but yeah, definitely interested in checking this out. Um that said, jump into our final topic of the day. Um Appreciate everyone who made it this far along with us. Just getting here. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Share this out. Dive into topic number 3 of the day. So topic number 3. Oh, close this out. Is Xbox starting to unleash the catalog that we've seen from the summer showcase? Starting early. Nothing first party related, but of some of the deals that they locked up this month, we have Flintlock, Siege of the Dawn, Dungeons of Hindenburg. That was the indie game that they showed. Kinesu, Gami, Path of the Goddess, and Frostpunk all coming out in the month of July. In addition to that, we also have several corroborated reports that they will begin drip feeding us Activision, previous Activision titles. I think what we're supposed to be getting next month is possibly Crash Trilogy and Transformers. So I brought this up mainly because last week we were talking about the Amazon and Xbox thing, and Zero was like, "Where are my games?" And like the games are coming. Games are coming. So I'm gonna kick it off with for Zero first. How are you feeling about all this news about games that are coming out pretty quickly?
Good, man. Like, this is what I want. This makes me happy as an Xbox owner. Like, I am excited for the games that I get to play. You know, again, they can do a whole bunch of other stuff, make these deals and make these partnerships, but at the end of the day, it's got to result in something I want to play.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I've said constantly, it doesn't. Not, I don't expect all of these to be hit bangers, but I just want some games to play, and so long as I have something to enjoy myself with the system that I have, like, to me, that's a win. I expect them to make hit bangers because you sort of have to, but everything in between, from, you know, if we do a score base from a 60 all the way up to 100, is viable. So, like, good on you, Xbox. It's finally time. You've putting up. You can shut me up. And keep them coming. Like, I want more games as well. So I'm happy for them. Good job. Let's continue this. Hopefully, we can continue this momentum, because that's what you said. That's about 5 games.
So far, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 games announced for the month of July alone,
Yeah, that's pretty
and
good.
and supposedly another 6 from the ABK catalog dropping within by the end of August.
And these are really none of their quote unquote big boys, if you will, right? So we still got a couple of the big
Yeah, we
boys to
still
hit.
got the Indiana Jones, the Avowed. What else is dropping this year? Call of Duty, of course. There's 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, so like that's the type of cadence and catalog I like to see. You get some medium games, you get some bad games, you get some excellent games. And to me, everybody wins. I don't think anybody can be upset with that level of support from the people who you spend $500 on to like get that.
Kofi, what are your thoughts on Xbox finally starting to get a good cadence of content rolling to the platform, but then also through their subscription service?
Yeah, it's definitely encouraging. I have to kind of go look at a list of some of the things that I think you guys are covering that were more recently announced. But I mean, overall, like when we're talking about some of the acquisitions, like Obsidian, we're thinking about what's the team that is that makes the top-down tactics games, and they're making the action game.
You have the Avowed game being made, and then you also is Obsidian also doing Outer Worlds too?
Yeah, so
Those are 2 big
Obsidian is doing
games.
Avowed, but what's the other studio? What do they call it? Compulsion, right? Compulsion's making the action game for the
South of
first
Midnight.
time.
Yeah, South of
Yeah,
Midnight.
South of Midnight. So like when I look at titles like those are definitely highlights for me. I remember, I think it was Avowed that I was like, this is not going to be my kind of game. But when I saw the gameplay, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. So those are already highlights for me. Right now, the cavalcade of like other exclusives on PlayStation it got me like locked down until November, I think. But I'm still definitely keeping my eyes out for the pattern. So now, if you're saying there's even more, obviously, like Activision is reactivating some IPs. It's all positive at this point. But yeah, I really can't complain because there's legitimate new IPs that are by veteran studios that are here to be slated. So I'm not going to complain.
I'm more excited about the games that aren't coming to Game Pass. I am the games that are coming to Game Pass. I think in August we get the Metaphor game.
Okay, you're getting mad. You're not going to play that title? Who are you? Who just kidnapped Arrow?
Yeah, Xbox actually has the marketing rights to Metaphor.
Who cares? You're playing an Atlas title.
No, but you said like you're shocked it's coming there. Like they actually have the marketing rights.
No. I'm shocked you're going to try an Atlas title.
Oh, I already pre-ordered it. Yeah, I already pre-ordered it.
What about Persona?
I haven't gotten around to Persona yet.
I'm not going to get it. Is that no additional cost?
It's at no additional cost, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I have pre-ordered that. I've pre-ordered Visions of Mana as well.
We know you play Square Enix.
They released.
Get that Square Enix out of here. You need to play something that's not Square Enix.
What else did I pre-order? There's another game coming out.
Is it Square Enix? Oh yeah. Romantic Saga 2, right? Yeah, Romantic Saga 2.
No, that's not coming to Xbox.
What? It's not?
Nope. So what they got? They got I pre-ordered Metaphor, Visions of Mana, and then there's another
Dragon
RPG
Quest.
that's releasing in October. Maybe it's Metaphor that's releasing in October. But I just pre-ordered.
It
like
is.
3 RPGs.
Metaphor is releasing in October.
Yeah, so Metaphor and Visions of Mana. Visions of Mana releases in August. So yeah, I already pre-ordered. Maybe only pre-ordered 2. The third game was probably college football /
Disgusting.
But yeah, so pretty excited about what they got coming down the pipe, both in and outside of Game Pass. Jube, what are your thoughts about this this steady stream of content Xbox is starting to get into the platform?
Still work for it. Hopefully it continues. Even the non-game side stuff, like really excited. Them having Martin Rice with this game is kind of crazy. That just hasn't really been a thing.
Yeah. If they
Battle with Indy, like I'm ready. Like, it's not really eat this year, I think.
yeah, if they can start getting some of them other genres to kind of penetrate and develop an audience for those type of games on the platform, that's gonna be huge. I'm hoping that Xbox does the whole purchase games cloud thing, because I feel like from what I've done on cloud, I feel like RPGs are like one of the best games to play on cloud.
Yeah.
So I would hope that they hurry up and get that going for the cloud portion where your games purchase. But this is probably going to be one of our quicker topics, but just something to keep the communities at the forefront of the community's mind. All these games dropping, because that's what we're here to play games. Nappy, what are your thoughts on all these titles rolling out through the Xbox platform? I mean, you're primarily a PC player, but you are also a PS subscriber.
Yes, so it's about time. And I guess in a one way, Microsoft was playing chess with acquiring all the studios, and now they're dropping games left and right. If they can keep this momentum up, I think they actually may move over the player base to show that Microsoft and Xbox is actually a good investment as far as gaming goes.
Okay.
It's not really much to say. Right now, the one game that I was looking at that's coming out soon was the Flintlock game, which was like it's a Dark Souls like game where the woman walks around with her fox thingy. So I'm just, like I said, I'm happy to see all the games that are coming to Game Pass, and I get to eat. It's more games for me to play.
All right.
So that's not much to say.
Right. So yeah. So it looks like things are going pretty good for Xbox. Hopefully they can keep this momentum going and they don't shoot themselves in the foot the rest of the year. We all know Xbox is very good at having a lot of great positive news come their way, and then all of a sudden they tend to shoot themselves in the foot, and kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of approach. So I'm really hoping that this is the start of a strong end of the year for that said, we can roll into our outros. I know that was a pretty quick topic. We can roll into the outros, and let's see. Got here the timestamp for that. All right. So, for everyone who made it this far, appreciate you guys coming through. It's very enjoyable that you guys coming through and rock with us on the live chat. We look forward to getting additional comments to come out and check us later. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the channel, especially if you made it this far. You definitely enjoyed the content. But with that being said, we're gonna get ready to get out of here, and I'm going to start outroing people. And so, with that being said, Jubei, where can people find you? And
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei at gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. Find me at Jubei Jones on Spotify. I will be getting another character to 40 before the next show in First Descendant.
and Nappy, where can people find you? What will you be?
Yes, you can find me on Nappy Senshi on Twitter and Nappy Senshi here on YouTube channel. As far as controller reviews right now, I am currently working on the 8-bit Do lineup for their latest 3 controllers that are their Xbox controllers. I've actually just been using this controller for the past week. So to come up with my thoughts, this is one of the 8-bit Do Ultimate Xbox version that's wired. Don't worry, they also have this wire controller that I was going to look into, and then I have the other wire controller that's hooked up to my gaming laptop. So yeah, that review is about to come around the corner, and I am actually going to do a deeper dive and a full-fledged review on the Razer Edge, the gaming tablet. which is now on sale for $250 on Amazon. Honestly, this is where I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone Mobile on the most. I even bought the A-Trace skin for Warzone Mobile, and I love going around killing people, telling people I'm fast as fuck boy. So, yeah, there's going to be a full-fledged review for the Razer Edge gaming Android tablet. That's interesting. It's been on sale for the past like month for $250. So it's not a bad piece of hardware. Yeah, but if you guys want to definitely stick around and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell, look for a review for the Razer Edge and some of the other 8-bit Do Xbox controllers. So until then.
All right. Kofi, where people find you?
Guys, as usual, you can catch me on Twitter, creative_Kofi. And yeah, there's a lot for me to want to talk about. I definitely want to put up some posts on my review for Stellar Blade. Definitely in the opening 15 hours of that game, but I am definitely loving it. Didn't get a chance to talk about that. After that, it's going to be Unicorn Overlord and Rise of the Ronin. But also, I will be playing Descendants. I hope that all of us can meet a little bit later. We got to catch up with some of these fast people. And namely Nappy, so that we can have some like really cool end game content with characters we actually are aiming for. And then, of course, in 2 weeks, the new JRPG Reinatis comes out. I'm going to be putting a full in-depth review.
Comes out
6
in
months
Japan only. Don't be listening to him looking for it on
correct
on your PlayStation Store, or Steam Store, or whatever store you prefer.
This is true. This is true. So it's only out in Japan. But I'm posting my reviews so that when October comes around, you'll know if you want to buy it or not. But yeah, definitely. I already played the demo. I'm actually liking it a lot more than I was expecting. But just like Pharaoh said, yeah, this is specifically in Japan until October when Reinatis comes out. And I don't know if that's out on Xbox. I guess not. I don't know.
We're still fighting that good fight on the Japanese game barrier.
Yeah,
we're getting a lot more, but we're not getting all.
Yeah,
Sony got a knife to all their necks.
We still got to get anyway. So yeah, looking forward to posting some more import stuff, and yeah, get y'all on the next one.
That's fine. Hero, where can people find you, but also where can they find us?
Well, guys, as always, it's been a blast. You can find me, Zero.exe, pretty much anywhere you play video games or listen to stuff. I will be around and be there. Hopefully, catch me on First Descendant, man. Let's team up, let's shoot some things, and let's have some fun. But more importantly, you can find us, the Vitamin G Podcast, pretty much anywhere you listen to any of your favorite podcasts. Hopefully, we are one of them. Spotify, Google, YouTube. What are other podcast platforms? Podbean. We're all over the place. So give us a like, give us a comment, let us know what you like, and just thanks for hanging out with us as always. You could literally be doing anything else, but you decided to listen to us, so we'll always appreciate that. Thank you, and see you next time.
All right. That said, I just want to thank you for coming out once again, and thank you for getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
All right.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets.
I'm on the outside looking